Well, I'm 65 today, so la-di-da. I made it around the, what's it called? The sun. Why is this low battery? I had it plugged in. Fuck. Oh, for God fuck's sake. How complicated is it? They are going to find me strangled by these damn cords. And the cords are not long enough. They're long enough to kill me, but they're not long enough to get from where the plug is to where my thing is, the hole that you put the thing into. The outlet on the wall to the input on the device has a cord. It's not long enough. Yeah, said the actress to the bishop. So it keeps falling out, said the actress to the bishop. Okay, what are people doing here? That's Sally. Hello, FX Technol. Guess whose birthday it is today? It's Pierre Gustafson's birthday. It is. I'm 65. And I never thought I would make it this old. I thought 40 was, I'd be dead by 40 for some reason. Of course, I thought I would be dead by 40 when I was 20 because I couldn't really imagine the earth or me or whatever living that long. So anyway, I'm crazy dreams, and now I'm awake, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do today. My brother gave me some information yesterday about selling these items ourselves rather than through an auction person. And there's good and bad to that, but then I need to what? Sorry, I was reading your comments. So I've got things I have to think about. Well, I'm sure you'll make it for another 39 years, so you might as well just plan for it. I mean, don't plan on dying soon, but live your life as if you were going to die tomorrow, I guess. Is that not what they say? As if this day were your last, what would you do? I discovered that my driver's license still works. I thought it had expired. I never looked to find out. I thought for some reason it was expired, but it's still good. So I can drive. Ralph Caputo, thanks. So I think what I'm going to do is try to organize the pens that I'm going to be sending to you. And I don't know if I'll send them before Friday. So it may not be until after I get back from the lake. So I don't know when that's going to be. So what is on your agenda today? Yes, you are patient. Okay. Need to find something here. Jeez. I saw this YouTube thing that was really, really fun. And I cannot remember what his name was or what the subject was. He was a British historian, YouTube creator who tried to explain things, and he would dress himself up to play all of the various roles he was trying to present each side of a story. So he would dress up as a Trump Republican wearing Trump Republican outfits, and then dress up as a suburban housewife, and then sort of have a conversation with himself. And he was very funny. He's from England, and I just cannot remember his name, but I thought I wanted to watch him. Oh dear. Glasses are important. I've been essentially only using one eye to deal with because this eye has a bump in it that they can fix with a knife. And also, I sort of see double. So I use both my eyes, but when I want to actually see what the hell I'm doing, if I had to thread a needle or cross a T, sometimes pressing a button on a stupid phone game, I'm always missing the Angry Bird or whatever it is I'm playing because my finger hits the wrong spot. What's his name? Very, very funny. The blue pens that I got for you, I found them and I just grabbed them all and put them in a drawer, put them in my suitcase. I know when I was looking at them earlier that some of them needed the little, on the touchdowns, needed the little shield for the sack. So I have those in Boston somewhere, but you know, if I get most of the pen to you, that is the minor thing. Ugh. Let's see, Facebook. How many people are, I'm getting happy birthday messages on Facebook. Happy birthday, says Mark. I don't know who Mark is. He lives in the Rotterdam, Netherlands. Who else don't I know is saying happy birthday to me? Oh, this one says Michael Zepsky. Oh, I know who he is. pen collector and gunsmith. He was going to buy pens from me, which he didn't do yet. Susan Cox, Susan Beaugerie, Urban Sketchers, Twin Cities. I'm looking forward to go to the Urban Sketchers in the Minneapolis one after the 4th of July. I'm sure I'll be able to attend some of them, if not all of them. I'm here for 2 months. Hello, Kesh. Thank you. Email. Okay, evidently this person who wants me to do the job for them doesn't care. I did lots of drawings yesterday with pens. Would you like to see them? The subject matter was the TV set. It was what I was doing when I was watching TV, which meant I was listening to TV. Let's see if I can put these in order. I don't think it makes any difference. So here was the first A drawing. This is certainly not the first one. But I had 3 pens. One was a Schaefer with a really fine imperial inlaid nib. But this paper, this is a watercolor paper, and the fine, it sort of bled into the paper, which is very weird. So that was number 1. That sort of shows the layout. TV set, my glass of water, this lamp. Sometimes I drew just the lamp. TV is here. And the lamp base is made of an old samovar. So there's lots of, and I would use my water pen to dissolve the ink. Here's just the lamp again. So it's an interesting way to draw. Then I got 2 other pens, so I had 3 colors going on. One that had red ink, one that had blue ink, and one that had black ink. Well, I added the water to make the ink bleed. I just didn't understand why. It just seemed to draw thicker. Maybe it's just. Here's the lamp without the TV. Oh my God, I've got 3 more to go here. This is kind of a fun one. I decided I would make the TV in red. What was on the screen on red, and then the rest was just electric stuff. Oh, a Jeffrey Dahmer. It's probably the one that's the most realistic. I think this was the last one I did. Yeah, Ed Gein was a. When I was at school in Madison, people would point across the lake where the school was. There was a lake, and across the lake was a building you could see that had a water tower. They would say Ed Gein lives there because he was still alive at the time. 1970s, oh dear. John Wayne Gacy. When was John Wayne Gacy? Was he the 70s? God, 70s. I was in college. I was in high school. Ted Bundy? No. I don't know who. Who are you talking about? Ted Bundy. What was disturbing about that? He was handsome, and isn't that the handsome one that attacked the girls? I mean, it's disturbing that anyone does that, but the other ones they talked about ate them. Ted Bundy didn't eat them, did they? Did he? I mean, you can certainly be disturbed by anyone that kills anyone else, but I'll take pictures of these and add them to my Instagramorama. One. Oh, I guess I didn't know that detail. Well, watch the Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein and the ones that actually eat them or don't. I don't think there's no reason that you need to watch them. Okay, are we doing this right or not? Yes. I did not. Uh, no, I did not watch that. Yeah, it was national news. Uh, I don't know where I was. I could have been. Um, I don't know if I was in. If I was in graduate school, that would have been late. No, 1974. I graduated from. I was in college, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not good at remembering the times and places of things in terms of years. So I honestly don't remember. It was on the news. I listened in college and after. I never really watched TV news. I would listen to the radio, all things considered, radio news, and they were not the sensational kind of news that they have today, um, where everything is breaking. You know, when a president was assassinated, that was breaking news. When someone got a hangnail, that is not breaking news. 74 to 78. Okay, I was in college and I don't know. I I lived in my own world. When was he caught? I mean, when did the trial happen? Because when he was murdering people, he that wasn't on the news until they caught him, I guess. 78. Okay, so and presumably he was arrested not too long before that. I I I should be able to figure out how old I was in 1978. I have to go. 1974 is when I was 18. So 78 was my senior year of college. And then I moved to Madison, and I didn't watch TV in Madison. So We're just awful people. I mean, a species. I guess all species are equally awful. There's a beautiful light hitting the trees across the way. Yes, rub it in, mister. Okay, I'm going to add onto my Instagram account, I'm going to add my drawings I just did. New. No, I don't want that. I want new up here. Post. Okay. Ten. Watching TV. TV. Hello, Mighty. It's my birthday today, Ms. Mouse. Oh, I don't think cake is going to be part of the thing. Well, I've almost always been home on my birthday. Not so much for my birthday, but my dad's birthday was the 4th of July, so usually I was home for his birthday. There was a couple of times, though, I had my 50th birthday in Boston, and my brothers and their families came out to visit me, and I was in Paris. No, I wouldn't have been in Paris on my birthday. I forget. It's all a blur. I was not home last year on my birthday because of COVIDianness. I found a really, really nice box to make fish out of. Should I make some birthday fish? Fish! It's really a cool box. It's a shoe box that it's mainly black. The outside of the box is black. The inside has very abstract pattern of clouds, a photograph of clouds that are done with dot matrix, but they're zoomed in, so you don't really see that they're clouds. You have to like stand way back to see that. So there's just these interesting patterns of dots that are bigger or smaller or whatever, and I thought those would make really, really neat fins. And the name of the shoe company is QA, I think. QU, QUA, QU, I think. And so the eyes and the mouth are very simple. I think I thought that as a kid. I think my father was smart, but smarter than that. But many birthday cards I made for him involved a firework exploding, and then you'd see the "Happy Birthday, Dad," "Dear old Dad." That's what I would say. I watched 2 documentaries when I was drawing last night. One was about a German SS officer who was in charge of a Jewish workhouse in Poland. The town name starts with a Vilnius, and how he essentially saved hundreds of his prisoners. But he went to his grave thinking he didn't save any, and he was very sad by that. And then it followed. It was one of these, that was a documentary that could have been done in 20 minutes, not an hour. It was one of these people finding proof of the mass graves with metal detectors and radar and things like that. And it's like, we know how this works. You don't have to show people walking around with a metal detector. Just say, the metal detector proved this. And the second one was equally disturbing, about the neo-Nazis in Europe, in Germany, and how they're not being charged as terrorists when they are caught. They're being charged with having weapons, and they get probation or something. So it's the government ignoring this. It's the repetition of it. It's like in the whatever you call it, what's that, investigative forensic files thing, where the guy with that voice, he used to be on Channel 2 and now he's on that thing, and he has this voice that sounds like, when he says the word computer, He says it like that, as if it's a computer is something that's magical still. And the computer said, it's like, oh my God, the computer said this, it must be true. And he talks about luminol. Luminol is a blah, 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 blah. And if we've seen more than 3 episodes of that show, you don't have to explain what luminol is. It's like you don't have to explain what a fingerprint is anymore. Computer. You know who I'm talking about, that guy. He used to be a narrator on Nova, I think, or Frontline on Channel 2, where his script was a little bit improved. And his voice, there's something about his voice that's a little weird. It's comforting as well as befuddling. And I think it works better in the program where he dumbs it down, because the audience might need a little bit of feeling that they're being talked with, not being talked down to. So maybe it works for that show. Nova, we were talking about Nova last night, how Nova used to be good. And then they tried to, there was a time when they would try to be like MTV and make it entertaining. And sort of, they'd have 3 screens going at the same time and make it sort of fun and jazzy, but it got in the way of imparting actual information. And I think they realized they made a mistake with that. I think they lost more viewers than they gained. Well, it still exists, but I think if you boil down the script, or if you were to take notes watching and writing it down, I think your notebook would be less full of facts worth remembering by watching the newer ones. The older ones seem to be more full of stuff. I watch a lot of old TV shows, TV movies, mysteries made in the 70s and 80s, and crime shows that were popular back then. The NBC, the ABC Movie of the Week usually had aging film stars out of work playing the roles. And then there was a series of supernatural things which were popular. And it's just interesting seeing how different TV shows are these days. Some of them made ample use of the zoom, like Hawaii Five-0. The zoom, 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 zoom was popular, and it's just funny. Really old Novas I don't know, it's like you can count the grain. They didn't have pixels back then, but they had grain on the Super 8 film they used to make those things. I really love the scene I'm seeing out my window right now, and I want to stop and draw it, but I'm talking to you guys, so I can't. But the sun will rise tomorrow, and I can draw it then. But I'll show you what it is. It's oops. Where is it? Let's see if I can zoom in. Can I zoom in? I can't zoom in. Well, right in the middle of the picture, you see above the grill cover, you see light hitting the leaves on the bottom of the branches of the willow tree. And it's much brighter than you see here. And I'm still fascinated by the photons that happen. Let me show you. I think you've seen me give sort of a tour of this house, but this is where I grew up. And the house is essentially open. There are no doors between rooms. The bedrooms and the bathrooms have doors, but everything else you can walk without opening up a door. Here's the view. So the next house in that direction is like miles away. Oh, see, look at the way the light is coming through the woods there. It's drawing them that I really like. I like taking the time to try to plan it out. Here's the Japanese garden, we called this, on the side of this that goes toward the street, and the way the light is coming through there. There's my mom. There's a big life-size ceramic dog. There's the other one. These are all things we're going to sell. Here's a Christmas wreath I made out of snake skins. A big gray python or something, and a smaller red python. Here's a bust of my dad. Which you can't see very well. Yeah, it's magical, and front camera. Now I've got to plug you back in. So one of the things we're doing, we're trying to go through the house here and find furniture that we would like to keep as a family, move up to the lake house, and sell the rest of the stuff that we inherited from my dad and mom and dad. And there's a sculpture, for example, outside this window that is supposed to be a fish. Fish! You see that? Oh, God damn it. That metal thing that is supposed to be a fish. and it's supposed to go horizontally, but my father had it hung it sideways, and the artist did not like that. But I think I'd like to bring that to the lake house where we have fish in the lake, and perhaps hang it horizontally again. We've got a wall. It would really be the first thing you see when you drive up the driveway, because it would be mounted on the back of the garage thing, and but maybe it would look better somewhere else. I'm thinking. It's been so long that it's been sitting here that it'd be funny seeing it in a new location. I once was in a house that friends of my father's built in New Jersey, and they took the blueprints of this house and built their own version of it. And this is a unique house. Well, it's no longer unique because there's two of them, but it was unique. And I stayed there overnight one night, and when I was in high school, and it was very weird. Like, I'm not seeing the same thing I see out the windows. This isn't the right couch. This is the Twilight Zone. I don't understand. Anyway, doing a drawing of these photons hitting the yard here, the very early morning light. I want to try to figure out how to do. I've done a lot of them on the inside of the house where the light comes through the table legs and the furniture on the carpets, but there's a new puppy in the house, in the family, and he eats the carpets, so they're all lifted up now, which isn't nearly as much fun as they were when they were on the ground, because we would overlap them higgledy-piggledy, and it was always a fun thing to draw, but now it's just beige. I guess there's some that are up there. I'm mistaken. In the kitchen, there's none. There used to be a bunch. Should I show you my fish box? Why is this not plugged in? It's because it's not plugged in. It's not long enough, said the actress to the bishop. Now it's plugged in. I'll be right back. I'll show you this fish box. Drawings away. God fuck's sake. Bless. Okay, cord. So the outside of the box has a cue. When it was closed, this is the logo, or whatever it is. There's a U and a Q. And it has three small Q's and U's, and one big one. So I suppose it'll be a mommy fish and baby fishes. But the inside of the box are all of these dot clouds. So I could also I'm trying to find things that look like they could conceivably be an eye. That could be an eye. I'm a walking disaster. That could be an eye. Anyway. So we'll see. But maybe I'll make fish today. And I'll make them live on here. I've got my facing down camera set up. I mean, I can figure out how to do it. So I brought with me about 300 fish. I don't know how many fish. 2 boxes of them, probably 300. And I wanted to put them up at the cabin. Now the cabin is owned by the 3 boys, but the boys are not always, we don't always see eye to eye. And I think there's going to have to be a little bit of give and take going on here. Because we do want to move some furniture up there and take furniture back. I think the rule is my youngest brother, who's the one that I think is the least like the other 2, but probably the smartest one of us in terms of making something function. He does not want the house cluttered. No, they like fish. In fact, Troy, the youngest one, loves to fish. He loves to go out and try to catch one of these things. But I think the best part about fishing for him is being alone on a boat away from his siblings. He also doesn't want the cabin to end up looking like an antique shop, and so he prefers modern-y looking, cleaner things. So, Kitty, oh, here's, you want to see the cat, Van Gogh the cat? Kitty. Oh, stop. No. Oh, oh. Here's Van Gogh the cat. You can see why Van Gogh is named Van Gogh. Oh, what? I pulled his tail. He didn't like that. So what we have to do is bring things up. I'm going to go up there and measure carefully the things that we want to bring up, that I'd like to bring up. And we're bringing an empty trailer up. And I'm going to see if we can take a few things down back here with us to sell. One thing is this huge, it's actually a nice piece of furniture, and it holds old Polaroid cameras. Not old enough to be collectible. I guess they're all collectible now, but I don't know if it's Polaroid cameras, but it has VCR camera film that you can't even play anymore. I don't know. It's just crazy. We've got probably dozens of decks of cards, playing cards, that are all each missing one card. And lots of candles, some weird plates, brass candlesticks. It's full of stuff that no, it's not that fancy FX Technol. It's, I don't know what they were. They're Polaroid cameras from they were still cameras. They weren't movie cameras, but we have these old VCR, back when VCR cameras were like the size of a Volkswagen. We have some of those cartridges for tapes, which have nothing that we need to see on them. And I don't know how he lost the ear. He was born that way. I think it looks like it's a genetic thing, malformed. He showed up as a kitten about this big from the woods, looking for love. Anyway, that piece of furniture can come down. I would love to swap out this couch here that's in this room, which was a couch my grandmother had in her house that came from 1925. And it's really a nice couch. It has beautiful wood carved, dark wood coat of arms and stuff on the sides of it that are really quite beautiful. And we have a chair and tables to match it. And because it's something from the family, and I think it would go nicely up in the house because the cabin has dark, same color wood paneling on the walls, that it would go well up there. And so that's my hope. So if I go up there and measure, take the measurement of this, go up and measure that, the couch that's there, and do a swap, that would be a way of keeping the family. We have very few things that came from my grandparents. And I just think it would be nice to keep those things. This lamp behind me, my dad bought for $25 from my kindergarten teacher. And it's a cute lamp. I mean, it's not anything particularly it's a floor lamp with leaded glass. It's nice and everything, but it's always, since the moment it arrived in this house, it's never moved from that spot. But it's not needed. And as I look around here, we have a beautiful dining room table that is built to seat 8, but the way we had it configured in our house, it could seat only 2 people comfortably, maybe 4, but it was wedged between 2 huge pieces of furniture. So to get from one end of the table to the other, you had to like suck in your gut. You had to not eat anything at dinner. If you ate something at dinner, you were trapped until you had some sort of bowel movement and got skinnier again or something. I don't know. It just was. The way the light hits this fish sculpture makes me want to put it toward the sunset, so maybe it will end up staying vertical, because it's made of all these little pieces of wire that are welded together like this, and the light is hitting certain facets. And it's fascinating to see that. I think seeing it at night in the sunset would be quite lovely, as long as it doesn't block the view. My brother doesn't want anything, little brother doesn't want anything. Oh, hello, Russell, thank you. Anything to block the view. I found my book of Don Quixote that I brought here last time, the hardcover version I bought to read with you and to illustrate with you, but it's hard for me to read. I'm too antsy. I want to draw. I want to play with pens. You know. Also, would you like to, I mean, other people can come on. I wasn't being very sociable. Mighty Mouse, we have to get you on here too, you know. We have to get you a camera that works, or a device that works. Why is this not working? Where's the... Where's that? Where is that? That's not anywhere near. I'm trying to find the. Oh, there it is. I'm trying to find where the camera is, because it was. Yeah, audiobooks. I think when you're reading really good, I listen to audiobooks all the time, but when you're reading good literature, so much of it is seeing the written word and how it's spelled and what word is next to it. And hearing it, you sometimes miss that. And to stream. Hello. Look at that hairdo.
Greetings.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello. Here's Russell. And to stream.
Hey.
Oh,
my
Russell's
camera.
So Russell has
Facing around.
Russell has a new abode.
Got some new digs.
And his facial hair is coming along.
Mm.
You know, Russell.
I'm going for a mustache. I can't decide between Handlebars or Clark. Well, not Handlebar, but Curly Q or Clark Gable.
Don't do Clark Gable, and don't
Okay,
Yeah.
Curly Q
And
it is.
don't do Curly Q either. Don't wax your mustache to make little points. You had a natural Baroque curly bearded and mustache going on already. You don't need to put product in it.
Well, I'm going to at least try and take measures to make sure it's not a handlebar, because I'm not that degenerate quite yet.
You got a ways to go until you reach that level of degeneracy.
I hopefully so, but we'll find out. Oh.
It's a slippery slope. Once you start doing it, you'll end up right in
It's true. It goes downhill pretty fast.
You only-
before you know it.
My dad always said you only get handlebars once you start losing your handle on life.
Is that what he says?
That's some good wisdom.
Words of wisdom, right? So Russell's new digs has, in addition to having 2 bathrooms in it, you have to go, in order to access what would have been, it looks like this, a second bedroom, you have to walk through the bathroom. The bathroom has two doors. Is that
Interesting.
it's or it's a large 2-room closet or something. It's very
My
big.
bathroom has 2 doors, but when you go through the second door, you just end up in the laundry room.
I see.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I've got here. So here is the main living area, right?
Oh yeah. You're getting a crib tour.
Yeah. This is my crib. And this is the bedroom. And here you pass through the bathroom.
But look at that. You pass through the bathroom to go into this huge other place that has windows in it.
Oh, it's not huge. It just
Well, it has
looks that way.
It has a window and at least one door.
It's an optical illusion.
So
yeah, it's only because you guys are so small.
now is there, Russell, is there room enough for a bed to go in there?
I mean, there would be if there weren't the wardrobes. Keep in mind that what happened to me, or what happened essentially, is that they took student housing. This would have been like an apartment for a resident assistant, so slightly larger than a regular student's.
Yeah.
So like
what they did when they when they decided to give it to a resident director, they basically took away the student housing that was next to it and knocked down, and there would have been a bathroom connecting this room and the other room together, because it would have been like
A shared
suite essentially. Yeah. And so they just combined the two rooms together essentially.
Well, this would be a thought for you. If there was a way for you to, I think your time that you sleep is, what I would do if that were my house, I would make that room through the bathroom the bedroom, because I'm not planning on entertaining people in that part of the house. And then I'd have my studio and my living space on the other side of the bathroom. But the thing is, he also has another bathroom.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why there was another bathroom. I guess at some point this must have been a single room, but here's the other bathroom.
Yeah, they smashed two living spaces into one, apparently.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, basically, yeah. And what really bugs me is that this space is pretty narrow, and obviously wasn't meant to hold a kitchen within it, because they just put carpet all over the floors and didn't think about the fact that, if I'm going to be cooking there.
Right.
You're going to be covering it with grease and
ragu and
spilled.
Yeah.
Luckily,
most of my cooking takes place within the Instant Pot, so I don't have to worry too much about that.
No. Well, anyway, it's
it's decent. It's not as nice as the other place, but it's free.
Yeah, $0 a month. It's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
Anyway, the idea of using that your present bedroom as a dedicated studio that you could keep a mess, and then use the bedroom that really only has to hold a bed.
Well, you realize that there's 3 heavy wardrobes in that other room. And also in the current room where the bed is, it's also full of carpet. So if I decided to do painting there or anything like that, then I'm staining up the floors.
Is the bathroom area room, is that carpeted as well?
Nope. That bathroom I could feasibly use. That would be an interesting choice.
For a studio? I mean, the room with all the wardrobes. Now the wardrobes.
The room with all the closets has a hard floor.
Okay, well that would be the studio then. Now
studio? That's a cool idea.
When you said the wardrobe, are they separate pieces of furniture, or are they built-in closets?
They're all separate pieces. They are all separate pieces of furniture. They're all like those wardrobes that they put in the dorm rooms.
I would remove any of them. That you put one in your bedroom that would hold your stuff, and get rid of the other two.
Okay, where, Pierre?
Well, do you have a
look? This place is already filled up.
Okay, do you have,
I'm
do you,
not put,
do you need those wardrobes to hold clothing? When you need
sort
your,
of.
you,
I can keep my clothing in my thing. You're making my life more complicated. Quit
No.
trying to make me move these goddamn heavy wardrobes.
I'm just thinking that look at all of that space you could have as a studio, and the wardrobes can be put in storage somewhere on the campus. And then you'd have a studio that is you can be messy in. I'm telling you, you have water nearby in the bathroom. You use the bathroom that it's connected to, not to take your shit and shower in. You use it to clean your
Here,
paint.
it's too early in the morning.
It's never too early in the morning to talk about shitting and showering.
You know the one thing that I hate more than anything else?
Is telling
It's moving shit. It's moving shit here.
Okay.
I hate moving. And I don't want to do any more of it than I have to.
Well, I'm trying to make your life.
Don't make my life harder.
Making your life harder. Okay. When I visit
Do not.
When I visit you this summer, or whenever it's going to be this fall, whenever you're going to let me come down, I'm going to ask you to go to the grocery store and get something. I will completely rearrange your house.
Only completely.
To be functional.
Just mostly.
I won't move anything in your bedroom because your bedroom, but it seems to me that the wardrobes, you have way more wardrobes than you need.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
If they were
but the school doesn't have a storage area.
Okay.
They have like one dorm room where they keep all that stuff that's full up, and I'm pretty sure the only reason I've got 3 wardrobes is because they needed to put 2 wardrobes somewhere.
Well, you just take them out in the dark of night and throw them away, and then they'll forget where they put them. I mean, another thing that I would do with those wardrobes, if they were stuck in there, take the doors off, put the doors behind them, and then you have it for paint supplies and art supplies and stuff. So you don't. There has to be a way of making that place work better than it does. That's all I'm saying. No, I can say more, but that's all I'm saying right this minute.
Okay. Are we done on that subject?
Yeah.
How is your birthday coming along?
It's coming along so far so good. I've got people wishing me happy birthday that I don't even know because.
Well, I never even got to say happy birthday to you aside from a stupid YouTube message.
You wrote it down. Well, you didn't actually write that down. I had to prompt you.
So here's your official happy birthday, sir.
Thank you so much. Yes, I said, whose birthday is it? And you said Pierre Gustafson enthusiastically. But well, thank you for the birthday wishes. And I'm getting them on Facebook from people that I don't even know.
I don't even use Facebook almost at all. And every time it's my birthday, like I'm summoned to go on there and respond to 50 billion happy birthdays from people I have no idea who they are.
Oh.
I mean, it's nice when it's people you know, but a bunch of strangers typing happy birthday because Facebook told them, that's a little, you know?
Yeah.
I appreciate the sentiment, but
I also find that, sometimes I'll look and I'll see someone who is from the distant past, and I might have completely forgotten about him or her, and I'm sort of excited to hear from them, and I'll respond, thanks, or something. And then I won't respond to all the other people because I don't have time. And so I think what I probably should do is not even look at Facebook until noon, and then say thank you all for your birthday wishes, and then do it in a bulk. So I was thinking I might make some birthday fish out of this box. It's a black box. It has a big U and a big Q and little U's and Q's, but the inside of the box are all these cloud images, Russell. Made with the dot made C stuff. So I
Oh, it's
thought
like
that
half tone.
yeah, they would make nice fin things with black bodies and the QA as faces, but we'll see. But I do want to draw, and maybe I found my watercolor. So I may want to actually try to do some watercolor.
I got a couple new pins I was going to show you, Pierre.
Okay, I will take a look.
Oh, cat. Now I have a cat trying to butter away in here. Okay, here's the first one.
Oh, okay.
In the meantime, I've actually got to go out since I have no excuse now to stay out of sight. I've essentially got to go out and pretend I'm working a little bit.
Okay. Well, you go to work, and we'll talk later. And Russell.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that art historian gossipy guy. You know, the Polish guy that we watch. Perspective, it's called, the show.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about, but his name escapes me.
I'm sorry.
It's a Polish name with lots of consonants. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was talking about Vincent van Gogh.
Vincent van Gogh.
And how he has yet to paint his first painting, and it stopped. It was part 2 has his painting and his ear being cut off and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't, I don't pay attention to the art, the history of the artists, but so I didn't know any of this, or very little of this, living in England. And I guess I knew he was a preacher for a while, but he certainly wasn't a very good one. He failed it so much.
No, well, he was way too idealistic. Was his trouble? Like well, part of it was his politics didn't match with the church. Yeah. So the church, essentially, he wanted to do the St. Francis thing. I'm going to live like the poor. I'm going to live in their same condition. I'm going to go down in the mines. Of course, the church didn't like that because it made him look lower class, and they thought he was diminishing the status of the bishopry or whatever. And so they basically told him, you can't be a priest because of that. Of course, he was always of two minds on that, at least in terms of if you look at his actions, because he after they said, well, we're not going to let you be a priest anymore, he basically said, okay, I'm going to give up on helping the poor thing.
Yeah.
And
well,
then
it
he
was
dedicated himself to painting.
One of the things that he did that I thought was interesting, he would stay out late, and he would arrive home after the door was locked, so he would have to stay outside and freeze. So he was a nut. Anyway, okay, I'll say goodbye to you, and effects to null, you now have a tuck away.
All
Oh,
right.
Okay. Bye.
sorry, I was
Bye-bye.
wrapped up in your Van Gogh story.
You have a taco.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I have this little.
So here's, speaking of,
Well, there's
here's
another
Van
Van
Gogh the
Gogh,
cat.
the missing ear kitty.
Yes.
It's
Yes, I'm
adorable
sorry.
little fur ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pen, I got this little tuck away, and it was like new old stock.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't know if you can tell, but the little window here is like perfect.
Oh, good.
But the reason I got this pen is, number one, it was new old stock, and number two, the nib on this thing is crazy fine.
Oh, neat.
It's like needlepoint.
Oh, good.
It's got to be finer than an accountant. It's really interesting.
Oh, cool. We'll do
And the guy that sold it to me wrote me an email like, now if you hate the nib on this pen, it's really fine. I said, that's what I want.
what you. Oh, good. Good. And
One of my pen pals, not my
not your sugar.
not the
daddy.
one that I've been getting all the pins on loan from, but another one of my pen pals, I gave him a snorkel and he gave me this.
Oh, what is it?
This is a Bexley.
Oh, neat. Cool.
Back when they were made in Columbus.
Yeah.
So it had just like a normal steel nib in it or whatever, a fine. So look what I did to it.
You put a
This
water.
is not stock at all.
No. You put a Mont Blanc. Oh, a Pelican nib in there.
I put a Pelican M800 nib in this pen.
Okay.
And it works perfectly. It's like it was made for this pen.
Good.
So yeah, I put a $200 nib in a $100 pen.
I wonder whether are the feeds the same? Maybe they buy the feeds from the same place.
The strange thing is the feeds are not the same at all.
I
But
actually think that
it looks kind of like a Pelican feed.
Yeah.
It looks very similar.
Okay.
But it just so happened that it fit perfectly.
I have a feeling that most, I don't know, why am I saying this? I have a feeling that there's standardization in pen manufacturing today in terms of at least that.
No, it's absolutely true. A lot of people making modern pens today, especially the smaller manufacturers, they've only got parts from 2 or 3 manufacturers they can choose from, really.
Okay. Well,
yeah, like the nibs are made by, Bach, that Jovo company, or maybe Schmidt. Besides that, you're making your own nibs unless you use one of those 3.
yeah. The Pelican, because they've been around forever, like Mont Blanc, I'm sure they have their own.
Yeah, Pelican actually makes their own nibs, as far as I know.
Well, yeah.
And there's not many pen companies that do make their own nibs. But I've had this pen, but I had it changed, we'll say. This is one of those World War II Schaefer Triumphs with the big cap band, and this pen was in perfect condition. So I sent it to a guy, and he replaced the seals in it for me and stuff, but the nib on it just would not flow ink correctly. Okay. And turns out something had happened to it. The plastic inside here that's actually part of the nib had shrank, and it just like cut off the ink flow to the nib.
Oh.
So I had another one of these pens that was in pretty rough shape, but it had an awesome nib on it. Okay. So I had him take the nib from that pen and put it on this one. So now this pen has a perfect, just a normal medium nib, but I mean, this thing is like in mint condition. The transparency of the barrel is perfect. So that this is by far the nicest one of these I have. Like the engraving on the cap band is flawless.
Oh, good. Good.
So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. But other than that, I really haven't been buying too many pins lately. I've just been slowly fixing up some of the other pins that I had that weren't so good,
Uh-huh.
and
Cool.
tuning on them and stuff. I got this, I think I showed you this last time, little
Let's see.
capillary 61.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, other than that, I've been playing with the pins I already have and
Oh,
playing with cameras for some reason.
okay. I'm gonna zap my coffee here. Just a minute.
Okie doke. Oh, that means I'm in charge for a minute.
Charge for 1 minute. 45 seconds.
Well, let's see, since I'm the person that always steers Pier's channel back to fountain pens, I'll show off a couple more pins while I have a chance. Here's that funky limited edition sailor pen that I'm borrowing from my mystery pen friend. It's patterned after that drink called Tequila Sunrise. And this nib's like 21 karat gold. Yeah, it's a really pretty orange color. Mouse says orange. Yeah, it's the cap is a lighter orange than this. And there's like a little red thing here. And to go along with the theme of Tequila Sunrise, the little ink converter in here, I thought this was a funny touch. Has a little green end on it. So it's like perfectly themed, I guess you could say. Yeah, this is not at all the type of pen I would buy for myself, but it's been fun to play around with it for sure. Oh, yeah. I'll save this one for when Pierre comes back because I just want to make him a little jealous. What else do I have in this little thing? Oh, yeah. Got a blue snorkel here. I have a pen that doesn't even belong in here. One of these Lamy Safari pens. What else is in here? I think I got one more left. Yeah, this little pin thing I have holds 8 pins.
Hey, there's water right there. Drink it.
Oh, yeah, I got my my Aurora. What's this called? An Aurora 98 historical archive. And it's got one of these little like semi-hooded nibs on it.
Okay, I'm back.
I just remembered I had 2 more pins. I got a little 45 flighter.
Good.
But the reason you would even care about this pin, it's a stub.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Because if you're going to have a Parker 45, why not have a cool nib on it, right?
Why not?
Oh, and here's this isn't even my pen. This is Canada's pen now.
Oh dear. Okay.
He had a snorkel pen that he sent to some guy, and he had it custom ground. So the nib on this pen has a custom grind on it.
Yeah.
And it's a Japanese grind called a Naginata Togi.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It's a grind to where the nib is like a chisel-y kind of V shape. So the idea is as you write at higher angles with the pen, you get a thinner line out of it because the nib is shaped like this. When it's tilted up high, you get a really fine line, and as you rotate the pen down, the line gets broader and broader.
Okay, so it's like Ude nib kind of, but
without the big, the big bend at the end.
yeah.
But it's along those lines. It's like a calligraphy for, Japanese characters. But it's a lot of fun to write with just normally too.
Yeah, I would think a pen that has a weird cut like that would be sort of fun.
The thing is, you would think a nib like that would be really like sensitive, but this thing is totally forgiving. You can write with it any which way you want and it doesn't care. It's just the line width, changes accordingly.
Yeah.
But anyways, he had this pen and his was originally gray and it was in pretty bad shape. And he had this really awesome nib on it and it never worked right for him. So he sent it to me and I completely rebuilt it in a really nice, donor body essentially. So now it's perfectly good to go.
Oh, good. To Canada's customer.
Yeah, Canada's in the process of moving at the moment, so I will be holding on to it for a while yet longer until he's settled down in his new place.
Cool. Still in Canada?
Yeah, he's not moving out of Canada, but he's moving somewhere else. I don't even know where he's moving to.
I'm trying to think. I want
Well,
to
that
make,
was an awkward pause.
I'm just trying to think whether I want to make my fish out of I think I want to do that. I want to make my fish.
Yeah, I'm
So-
going to have to jump off here and get some breakfast food
Yeah.
going at some point.
I'm going to bring my contraption to my sister and make some fish. So, Mighty, get ready for some fish. And thanks for Effects and all. We'll see you shortly or later or another time.
Cool. I'll try to hang
Bye-bye.
out here while you make some fish. I won't completely leave, so
Okay.
I'll be in the chat room.
A new thing though. So
Good to
you
see
later.
y'all. I will see you soon, hopefully.
Yep.
Have a good one.